You're the sucker, sucker. That makes you the sucker, sucker, sucker. Forever, forever, ever, forever. I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson. Ooh, I am for real. Accept my challenge for the SummerSlam so I can prove to you that I'm the man. I'm John Renton with the retro review of WWE Smackdown from August 9th, 2001. Well, I totally butchered that goddamn song and sounded as white as I possibly could, and provided that anybody else is still watching this, let's dive into another show where we're speeding towards SummerSlam 2001. Yeah, I'm ripping these goddamn things out, ripping them out like big old pizza farts. Well, this is a whole lot of fun. Let me know your thoughts on the invasion angle in the comments and this particular show, because I gotta say this much, this was a lot of fun. In stark contrast to the previous Smackdown, which was a goddamn mess and had the whole thing with DDP being the stalker and crazy and everything, and at least it's focused more on the wrestling. It was at least a little more wrestling focused, even though the promos even served a purpose. There was a nice breezy pace to this. Also, they have one more Raw and Smackdown until SummerSlam 2001. So they really got to set up matches, and they got to set up the complete burial of the Alliance. Sweet fucking Christ, that pay-per-view. I can't wait. I also want to wait because, man, that cage match. Anyway, taking place in the Staples Center in L.A. Man, wow, that's a big callback right there. So earlier today, Austin with the Alliance, rah, sif boom ba, and he's also talking about unity among the Assassin's Creed Unity universe, Unityverse, if you will. And he says, well, he laid out Matt Hardy and then beat up his girlfriend because she asked for it. He didn't say that, but he might as well have. Just all happy that he beat up a woman. Like it would be about 8 months later. I'm not going to forget that. I'm not going to forget that at all. Even though Austin is one of the greatest of all time. So, he says he's going to beat Angle at SummerSlam. And are you with me? Yeah. Are you with me? Yeah. Do you want it? Yeah. Do you need it? Yeah. Let me hear it. I forgot how the rest of that song went. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's how it went. God, what was that WrestleMania 23 theme? Man, these reviews have gotten really weird. I guess when I just have a lot of energy in a minute recording mood, I just decided to be as goofy as possible. And considering how the invasion angle was completely goofy and got goofier somehow, despite the fact that they had a lot of talent, why not just be goofy and have some fun? So, the APA took on who better than Kanyon and DDP. Kanyon was the U.S. champion, and it was a WWE Tag Team Championship match. Well, it was at least cool to see this match because it wasn't something I thought I'd get to see. Kanyon just got tossed off the top. He was like, I'm going to do this. And Farouk's like, oh, damn. Because Farouk, even at this point, Ron Simmons, hell of a goddamn, strong as a bull athlete and just could still do some impressive shit. And then later, sudden onset test and he blasts Farouk in the face. Bradshaw somehow doesn't notice all this shit's happening. The referee's like, hey, you can't do that. I know that you interfered, but what the hell are you doing? They made the referees completely ineffective during this whole thing. It was almost like they were WCW referees, or like AEW referees now. I feel bad saying that because there are some really cool people there. But back to the whole invasion angle. Missed opportunity after missed opportunity, but oh no, clothesline from hell on Kanyon. Test says, hey Bradshaw, boink. And then Kanyon tops him 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's it. Hooray. And we have new tag team champions. For the Alliance. They're just tossing titles around like a joy at a college party. Or like the head cheerleader at a college party. I knew a girl like that. I'm going to move on from this. The Rock has the same leather, same as it ever was, same as the leather was, if you will. The same leather that he wore last week. Since they're in LA, Tinseltown, we have Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay, I got to stop with these impressions. So he's in the front row, along with I can't remember if his name was Cliff Curtis, who it was, the guy that was in Collateral Damage. When are you going to kill me? No, dog. Apparently he threw the axe just like that. Collateral Damage, weird movie. So Saturn with Moppy took on Raven with Terry. Man, they didn't know what to fucking do with Terry. Though it must have been cold in there at that point. Terry really should have been utilized a whole lot better than she was, because she had a lot to offer to wrestling. Anyway, Saturn jump starts with a dive. It was fast-paced, I'll say that much. And we have Moppy assistance. You're welcome. And then the moss-covered family three-handed credenza. 1, 2, 3. But then suddenly, the mop has disappeared. Who took it? Terry took it. She took it. Took it, Terry, if you will. Which really sounds like a nickname that I'm not going to go into, but she obviously took it. Well, plays dumb until later, and then I believe throws it a wood chipper. If not by Raw or SmackDown, sometime after SummerSlam, or maybe at SummerSlam. Honestly, I know Raven and Saturn had a match at Unforgiven, so I know it's coming up soon. And then DDP and Canyon are all celebrating with Tess and says, well, those boys learn when you mess with me, you're going to eat my foot. There are some people that would pay good money for that. Maybe not from Tess, considering that he's not been alive since March of 2009 and is getting really grim as opposed to the happy-go-lucky individual that I usually am, so I'm moving on from that. Regal suddenly shows up and says, well, Tess did that, but hey, you guys are under my jurisdiction now because you're WWF Tag Team Champion. So, and I'm going to go back and forth between WWE and WWF. I apologize, but it is what it is. And he says, well, you're under my jurisdiction. So you're going to face Taker and Kane at SummerSlam for those titles. Oh, yeah, it's going to be a steel cage match. And that's the match where just, they might as well have just taken a shit on Canyon and DDP, like right in the ring. Like that match, I'm gonna rip that match apart because it was such a goddamn, like, destruction of two gimmicks. Complete destruction. Canyon didn't deserve that. I mean, DDP didn't either, but I'm just like, DDP they'd already beaten in the powder at that point anyway, so I don't know what else they could have done, and Canyon just deserves so much better. My God, Canyon is sorely missed. And then, the WCW champ, David Arquette, former WCW champion David Arquette, that is in the front row. I gave David Arquette way too much shit back when I was, like, starting in the beginning of this channel and as opposed to starting at the end of this channel. But when I did a video, and actually, if you've ever seen You Cannot Kill David Arquette, if you watch it again, you'll catch snippets of YouTube videos, including one of my older ones. And I feel really bad for that because David Arquette did the best he could and didn't want to do this and really does love wrestling. He still does. Good movie, by the way. Reviewed it. Really, really wild, the effort he put in. But good shit. So anyway, Regal and Tajiri are talking to Spike and Molly. Apparently, and I'm referring to Spike Dudley and Molly, not spiking somebody with Molly. We are not having a cause in our contract here. X-Pac is upset. X-Pac sucks. That's basically the running theme. Why does X-Pac suck? Who the hell knows? Spike, by the way, is healed from his leg injury. And he's going to take Regal's place in a tag match. I can't remember why Regal was necessarily just a commissioner. I know he had health issues, and I think that might have been the reason here. Because he wrestled here and there, but he didn't wrestle that often. And then we have Edge and RVD for the Hardcore Championship. Oh, cool. This is nice. This is about, just under 5 years before RVD would screw up along with Sabu and would lose the championship to Edge. And it was a really goddamn cool match. It was actually just about 5 years before that whole Vengeance 2006 match that they had, which was pretty underappreciated. Huge RVD chance. Action all over the place. RVD dives with a rolling senton to the outside for a 2 count. And suddenly, Lance Storm is upset because he got pantsed on Raw. Pants Storm, if you will. And he gets laid out. And actually, Edge pretty much takes them both out for a bit. Even with a chair in there, he springs off of it, hits a spear on Lance Storm. But then eventually does get hit with a concerto. And RVD covers 1, 2, 3. And Christian wasn't there. I don't remember why they said Christian wasn't there, but was what it was. Austin then talks to Palumbo and O'Hare. You got to not be afraid to challenge anybody. And he pumps them up, and that would be their mistake. And then Spike and Molly Spike with Molly and Tajiri took on X-Pac and Albert. X-Pac sucks chance. Spike's leg was in question. They questioned whether he had a leg. Wait, he's not Kerry Von Erich. Let's move on from this. He got targeted. Then Molly slaps X-Pac, who shoves her down. Spike gloms him. And then Tajiri eventually gets hit with the title when he tries, to fight out of, Albert's Baldo Bomb. Gets hit with the Baldo Bomb. 1, 2, 3, and there you go. So now let's pick this up with Sauer looking for Moppy. He's in Regal's office and spits in his teapot. Why do people hate Regal's teapot? Whether it's short and stout or maybe it's like elephantitis. Well, that's really weird. Let's move on from that. Something in the British tap water. Palumbo and O'Hare, they say to Regal, we want to challenge anybody. We don't care who it is. Okay, I have an idea. I'll have to think about it, but I'll tell you later. It's obviously Taker and Kane. Of course it is. They're the only people not involved in the goddamn match, even with the bloated roster. So Booker and Shane arrive. Shane calls everybody Hollywood phonies. You're a bunch of phonies. And then says that, he walked away on Monday. The Rock didn't because he laid out Rock and laid out Dwayne's prone Rock Hard Johnson. It was all flaccid right there. Weird jokes here. So Booker then says The Rock was a sucker and how The Rock is scared and, fears Booker T and all that. And he will hit him with everything. He will give him everything he's got coming to him. The scissors kick, the spin-a-rooney. Shane celebrates. Shane's just selling this whole thing. Rock pop, LA pops for the Rock's Dwayne Johnson. Let's just move on from that. Finally, the Rock has come back to LA. And one question, what in the blue hell is a spinaroonie? It was kind of cool to see Arnold celebrate, by the way. Celebrating, I love it. So anyway, what in the blue hell is a spinaroonie? Is that like something from Fisher-Price? Because Rock just cutting him down like only he could. Rock has the sharpshooter, the rock bottom, people's elbow, and you got the spinaroonie, the dipsy doodle, and the suffering succotash. God damn it. That's where they got it from. They said, it worked for Rock. Let's give it to Roman Reigns 14 years later. And it didn't work. It didn't work at all. It was disappointing. So anyway, he says, you can come all the way to Hollywood just to get your hair done by Whoopi Goldberg. At least nobody called him the chauffeur or the butler. Or the same people like him can't be champion. I'm still sore about that. And they're going to have a handicap match later. And Rock comes down and then gets kind of glommed by both of them. But eventually does get them alone. Or get, Shane alone because he knocked out Booker T and laid him out through the announcer's table. Because why the hell not? And then Sharon and Terry are debating about mopping. She says, you're welcome. And then walks away. Because the mop's going to get wood chipped. So then Palumbo and O'Hara took on Taker and Kane for the WCW tag titles. Well, this was a mauling. They really didn't do anything. I think it was like 4 minutes. And 4 minutes might even be generous. Double choke slam, 1, 2, 3. New tag team champions. Title for title at the cage of SummerSlam. At SummerSlam in the cage. And, well, a little bit of a spoiler. I'm sorry. It's almost 20 years old. Taker and Kane easily beat DDP and Kanyon and are double champions. And then they lose those belts. And then they go on to face Chronic at Unforgiven 2001. Dear God, make it stop. Make it stop. Make it stop. So, Hugh Morris tells Stephanie, Jericho will pay. I wonder how he got those tapes to do that, though. Never mind. And then he faced Jericho in a match where he lost in a minute. I don't even know if it was a minute. I mean, and this is like the only down point, but Rhino, then this is the famous one where Rhino attacks Jericho on stage and gores him through the little screen set thing, which was really cool. And that was a cool visual. Of course, obviously, since it was taped, they had to tape it back up and everything. It's like they put, they MacGyvered this shit. And the screen was hanging half off or whatever. It was still better production values than WCW had, in their last year because no audio feedback and shit. Stephanie's talking to Rhino and practically orgasmic because he wants to finish off Jericho at SummerSlam. Seriously, go back and watch this. It's frightening. Saturn got the cops involved to find Moppy. You called in a missing persons report on a mop. Why that made me laugh, I don't know. Dudley's in Austin versus Hardy's in Angle. Elimination tag. Commentary bickers a lot. It was really annoying. And the crowd loved the Hardys. Pace was very good. This is really good stuff. It got messy at the end, but the pace was really good on this. A melee, ankle lock on Devon. He gets eliminated. Soon after, Bubba Bomb on Matt. Bubba Matt, if you will, and he got pinned there. Later, the ref got pulled out, and then Star to Jeff. Bubba tops him 1, 2, 3. 2-on-1. Angle is facing Bubba and Austin. Austin attacks him, gets a Boston Crab on him, gloms him and everything. Ref distraction. After Bubba had been hit with the angle slam, we get a ref distraction because, oh no, he's almost got Austin. He's got the ankle lock and everything. But then Devon runs back down, hits him with a chair, and the referee turns around and sees Devon. It's like, okay, I could call this, but maybe I need to let this go. And then we get a 3-on-1 beatdown, and he just lets it go. Stunner, 3D. They put a chair on Kurt's ankle. Easy for me to say. And then the Hardys apparently realizing, shit, we need to get down there not a moment too late. They get down there, and then we get a stretcher job, and Austin's writing him down and then tries to attack him on the stage. And Angle managers roll up and get the ankle lock on there. He's like, he's doing all that and everything. And now he has to go backstage and hit Deborah. But yeah, he's all upset, and that pretty much seals it. And we go on to the final Raw before SummerSlam and the final SmackDown before SummerSlam. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.